Hello there, Jets fans. Welcome to episode number 52 of the JetStream podcast. I am Travis Rubinick. Today is November 30th, and I'm here with Joe Clark and Neil Noonan.
Hi.
November 30th. It is
almost December.
First of all, it's almost into November. So
yes.
Yeah, you're
that is. You know, I'm not
really
gonna lie. I thought you could do better, but
it's because I let this go in.
I'm not in a position to trash talk really, but I expected more.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's because I let the beard come in, and it kind of takes away from the rest, and I just got lazy with it. And I was like, you know what? It's coming close to December. Face is getting really cold outside.
How much did you end up raising? Do you know?
$20.
That's good.
So I'm doing $20.
Better than zero.
Which has been my high for the rest of time. So $20 is better than nothing.
Decent.
What? I don't know why it does that sometimes.
Oh,
whatever.
Well, that's life.
Fucking technology.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
What do you know about the mumps?
More than I want to know about the mumps.
Why is that?
They fucked me over in fantasy. That's why.
Man, that's 2 episodes in a row you swore before me.
Sorry. I get really emotional with my.
You get really emotional with the mumps.
My fantasy illnesses.
Man, the mumps is still hanging around, eh?
Is there still people who have it?
Yeah, someone just got diagnosed with it like last week or something like that.
In the NHL we're talking, yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but I saw it again like yesterday. The mumps is still...
Man.
It's 2014, man.
21st century.
2015.
21st century can't not get the mumps. So pissed.
Did you guys do any Black Friday shopping?
I have a job, so no.
No.
I went online to look.
Well, that's tomorrow, man. Tomorrow's Cyber Monday.
The Cyber Monday, right?
Is that a thing? Like, are there actually good deals?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've never...
we took it very seriously when I worked at Future Shop.
Yeah.
But, like, I had that feeling of, like, I'm looking for the sake of looking, and I do not need anything.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Always a problem.
And if you pay $1,000 for a TV and save $250, you spent $1,000.
You lose.
Yeah.
So, last year I got my mom's Christmas gift on Cyber Monday. I wasn't expecting to, and I was just going through, and I was like, wow, this is something she could actually use, and it's
you were just going through eBay or Amazon or what?
I think it was a Future Shop or Best Buy, one of the two. And it was like, I don't know, I got her a Surface tablet. I guess the new ones had just come out. So they had the regular, the one you have, I think it had just come out. And they still had... No, someone just outbid me on a hockey card. I don't know what I've said about that.
Is it the Nazem Kadri one?
No, Stuart Percy.
Oh.
Hey, he's still a Leaf, and he's good. We'll see. Wow, he spent a lot of money. I'm probably not going to try to do that.
It's like his dad or something.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, so yeah, all the old Surface tablets, I was looking at them because I wanted to get my mom something like that, and they'd cut the price in half on Cyber Monday. So I was like, well... guess I should just purchase this.
That's probably just
take advantage of this.
That's just not bad.
Yeah, exactly. So it worked out. So maybe I'll probably scour a little bit tomorrow because it never hurts, right? Like
maybe I'll take a little look.
It's not like you have to go to the mall. You're online, so
that's true.
It just works out.
Oh, so much effort.
Yeah,
just typing in.
So I'm at a computer all day at work, anyways.
Yeah,
so
I guess.
Might as well. We were filling out. I'm doing a project right now. It's through school, and you had to fill out for the thing like all the time you spend sitting in a day, and I was like, wow.
Too much time? Yeah.
I hate sitting at work because I'm going to die because of it.
Yep.
It's really not a good thing. So I should probably work on that.
You should get a standing desk. My brother-in-law is a computer programmer, and he works from home, and he has a standing desk. He doesn't sit down at all.
See, I wish I could do that, but then I'd have to go to my boss and be like, can you spend a lot of money to get all the desks changed so I can stand more?
Yep. Hey, if your employer,
I'm in a health place,
if your employer takes it seriously, then they shouldn't have a problem with that. I don't think.
Maybe I'll pitch it. I'll be like,
or just bring a box and put your laptop on a box.
Yeah, exactly. Do your own thing. Who cares about the other people? You guys die if you want.
You guys can all die of sitting disease all you want.
I'm a stand.
Yeah. And I'm gonna live longer. Y'all be dead, and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Up here standing, typing away
with my feet hurting.
Actually, when I worked at the financial institution I worked at, I used to work at locations that were standing spots. And the first day, you're like, wow, this is exhausting. And the second day, you're like, I feel pretty good about this because I'm not sitting all day.
Yeah.
I'm healthier.
Only ever had jobs where I was standing and walking and moving around, so.
Well, that's why you're a fine, fit young man, Joe Clark.
Thanks, Travis. Appreciate it.
So we got lots to talk about today. Well, we have a decent amount to talk about today. I'm not going to say lots because last week was lots. This week is some. We're going to talk about Michael Hutchinson and his great performance against the Boston Bruins and ask if there's a goalie controversy happening in Winnipeg right now. We'll talk a little bit about the Jets road trip. More importantly, injuries, fatigue, and if the Jets are a kind of team that can overcome that kind of stuff right now. We're actually going to give a fantasy hockey update for the JetStream Fantasy Hockey
League. We haven't done one of those in a while.
We haven't done one for a while, and Pity has been yelling at me, so it's for you, Pity. Shout out to Pity the Food. We'll recap things we learned this week. Joe's got a great team for us. There's a spelling bee we need to do. The first thing we're going to cover.
As long as you don't say "but first" and then let Neil say.
I learned my lesson last week. When I was editing the episode, I was even ashamed of myself.
You're like, I should just cut this out.
I think that's a comment we got from most people. Is just like anybody I was talking about the podcast. Ran to Charlie again. He said he's listening to the podcast. A lot of people that I talked to, just I happened to run into them. They listen to the podcast. They're like, Neil's little drop of "let me take a selfie" was probably the funniest thing we've heard in a long time. So, props to you, Neil, but never do that again. That was awful.
We discourage being funny here at the JetStream podcast.
I'm just embarrassed that was an instinct of mine.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that pops into your head.
What does that say?
It's a bad thing. Fucked. Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, man.
First thing we're going to talk about is old man Marty Brodeur getting a tryout with the St. Louis Blues.
Marty Brodeur.
Oh, wow. I thought you meant coaching.
No.
You said, holy
he's legitimately
crap,
in a tryout with the St. Louis Blues right now.
This took a turn.
Brian Elliott is hurt. He's out week to week. So, yes, they needed to find a solution. But this solution is a very dumb solution, in my opinion. Marty Brodeur, I'd be foolish to say he wasn't good in his time. He broke a lot of records, did a lot of good things.
One of the greats, yep.
One of the best goaltenders of all time by those metrics. There is an underlying group of people that think he's very overrated for what he did. He played behind some of the best teams in the history of hockey, defensively at least. Some of the most fantastic players. Again, I haven't really dived. I haven't really dove into those numbers, so I can't say for sure if I am in that group or not. But it's something I think you have to consider a little bit. Again, a lot of current statistics talk about how the group in front of you isn't going to change your numbers that much. But he has a lot of accolades for things like wins and shutouts and stuff like that, which are very team-based. So,
save percentage-wise, you can say...
Again, I'm not even sure. I haven't looked. What I have looked into, though, we're going to play a little game here.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
This is save percentage the last 4 years.
Okay.
It's from 2010-11 season all the way to 2013-14.
Okay.
I'm going to go through each of those years and ask you, Joe, who you think did better. Marty Brodeur or Ondrej Pavelec?
Oh, boy. See, I think I cut... No, whatever.
And we'll get a bit of an idea here.
I have a feeling that I kind of know, but I think they were close.
2010, 2011, who was better, Brodeur or Pavelec?
Pavelec, I think, was better that year.
Ondrej Pavelec was much better that year. Brodeur finished that season with a .903 save percentage.
And that was
56 games played.
That was Pavelec's better season.
That was Pavelec's best year of .914.
Okay, that's what I thought.
58 games played.
I know more than I think, I surprised myself.
2011, 2012, who was better, Martin Brodeur or Ondrej Pavelec?
Gonna say Brodeur that year.
Brodeur was better that year. 2 for 2. Well, there you go. That was the year the Devils actually made their run to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that was in spite of Martin Brodeur because he had a .908 save percentage.
Yikes.
Pavelec was worse with a .906.
Yep.
Brodeur played 59 games. Pavelec played 68 games. 2012, 2013.
That's Pavelec's better, I think.
Ondrej Pavelec was better that year.
Yes.
Brodeur had a .901 save percentage in that season. Ondrej Pavelec had a .905.
Okay.
29 games played for Marty Brodeur, 44 games played for Ondrej Pavelec. What about last season, 2013, 2014?
What was... I can't... See, here's the problem is I can't remember what Pavelec finished the season with the save percentage last year. I'm going to say that Pavelec was better anyways.
It was a tie.
Okay, there you go.
Both finished with a .901
just
save percentage.
Just the most pathetic tie. Games. The most pathetic tie you've ever seen in your life.
In 57. Marty Brodeur in the last 4 or 5 years has been one of the worst goaltenders in the NHL. One of the worst. Yeah. Riding very highly in New Jersey based simply off of his history with them and his name.
Not like New Jersey has been horrible over those 4 years.
They haven't been. No. Last year they only didn't make the playoffs because they didn't win a shootout all year.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of that might have been the balance between Schneider and Brodeur. But Brodeur has been le brutal.
Yeah.
Awful kind of goaltending. And I think the Blues just would have been so much better off with anybody. It's the same argument we've made about Pavelec for the last few years, right? Almost any replacement level goaltender would give them equal, if not better, goaltending. And I think at this point, the Blues kind of have to be like, well, we could just roll the dice. Brian Elliott's coming back at some point. We all know that.
Well, he's still if they haven't put him on the IR yet, and he's still day to day.
He's week to week. So I think I'm not sure if they actually put him on IR. They probably did if he's week to week.
Well, they called up one of their goalies on emergency. Don't you have to have him on IR if you're going to do an emergency call up?
I think so.
Okay, so.
So yeah, Brodeur is just trying out with him right now. They haven't made it officially stupid yet. It is weird.
Hey, Bissonnette tried out with them too.
Sorry?
Bissonnette tried out with them too.
That's true. I think he's in the AHL for them now.
No. Is he?
I think so.
Okay.
I think he signed an AHL contract with somebody. But yeah, it's something to keep an eye on. The one other aspect of this that is kind of weird is, first of all, I think the Blues can get past a Brian Elliott injury. They're a good enough team. Vladimir Tarasenko is just unbelievable. He's been fantastic this year. He scored again last night. Another great goal. Overtime winner. But it'd just be weird to see Marty Brodeur in anything but a New Devil jerseys? What's a New Jersey Devil?
I thought you were going to say New Jets jersey.
It'd be weird to see him in anything but a Devil jersey.
No, that would be
just
strange.
A weird concept.
It was kind of like seeing Ryan Miller in a different jersey than Buffalo for the first time. I mean, I'm used to it now because he's been bounced around a little bit. But before that first initial move, I was just like, what is this what is this Ryan Miller wearing? Different jersey. That's weird.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Yeah,
it was the same. Like you just get, it's rare and rare nowadays, but you keep seeing it where there's players who you just see them in a different jersey and you're like,
Daniel Alfredson.
What is this? Yeah. Jason Spezza.
Yeah.
Even like Matt Sundin near the end of his career. Yeah, I get he was a Nordique first, but he was a Leaf. He was a Toronto Maple Leaf, and then seeing him in a Canucks jersey was just so weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
And yeah, like it's just icky almost. It's like, why are you doing this? Just making it. It was like when Brett Favre went to his first other team other than the Packers. Yeah. It was just like, what are you doing? And then he just went on his little gong show of playing for the Vikings. And see there,
Marty Brodeur.
It's Marty Brodeur in a Blues jersey. It's gross.
It's weird.
And I love Blues jerseys. I mean, it's a practice jersey.
It's all right,
but get that white helmet off.
The white.
It's just not right. Ugh.
Marty Brodeur is 100 years old, like my grandpa. He goes home after hockey to the old folks' home where he lives with Chris Chelios and a mom. What?
First of all, if anybody's listening to that, they're probably super confused as to why you just said
that. No, Neil just put up a photo on the screen of like, did a little kid write this or something?
I just searched Martin Brodeur old, and this is the first image on Google Image.
Hilarious. I like how he's got a cane and a hockey stick and a thing above saying, I'm old.
That's just proclaiming it to the world.
Great.
I like how his legs are just like pads.
Yeah. They're part of it. They are part of him.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Wow.
So I guess we'll follow that and see what happens. I mean, it's probably a good thing for the Jets if Brodeur starts playing for the Blues on a regular basis. I mean, he might not even get into a game, but it's just weird concept to wrap your head around. Staying on the topic of goalies. Michael Hutchinson had a pretty good game against the Boston Bruins.
I'd say so, yeah.
Did you see much of it? Or
I caught the last half. Yeah.
So the crazy half.
Yes.
So the first half, I thought the Jets played pretty well, and then the Bruins were just like, hey, we're the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
We're better than this. Michael Hutchinson played great. And the interesting thing, I think you saw the key difference between a truly solid goaltender and Andre Pavlik kind of perception of a solid goaltender in that game. All those big saves you kept seeing from Michael Hutchinson, they weren't and they made reference to this a lot during the broadcast, which I liked, and then I was like, you do realize all the things you're saying are just the opposite of Andre Pavlik, right, guys?
They probably didn't know that.
Oh, probably not. They kept referencing how all of Michael Hutchinson's big saves are those they should have scored on him kind of saves. They were all positional saves. They were even though he fell on his ass, he's still in the right spot, so the puck has a better chance of hitting him, so he makes a save. Yeah, a lot of those probably could have been buried if Sidney Crosby was in front of the net.
Yeah.
But you only play Sidney Crosby, twice all year? You're not going to see that a lot.
Thank God.
Yeah, exactly. Sidney Crosby went on the longest point scoring drought of his career last week.
Yeah.
2 games.
Seriously?
Or not of his career, in the last 5 years.
Okay, sorry.
The last 5 years, longest point drought. 2 games.
That's so stupid.
And then he ended it with like a goal in the first period of a game.
But he's not the best player in the world, though, Travis.
No, obviously not. He's, he doesn't have the heart or whatever that bullshit is.
Yeah.
God, he's such a good hockey player. They played the Leafs this past week.
Uh-huh.
After the game, Steve Dangle referenced this in his video. After the game, the whole perception from the Leafs side is like, oh, well, at least you shut down Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby. They still had combined like 5 assists and like 30 shots on net and all this other crap, and you're just like,
no,
that's a game where you shut them down.
They just didn't score on you.
Shutting them down is not letting them score. When you have everybody, like, let's just think about that for a second. No. The fact, like, Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby together, this is way off topic from where we're going, but I don't care.
Okay.
Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby together, one of those two is your second line center.
I know. It's so stupid.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
At times, Chris Thorburn has played on the Jets' second line.
Evgeny Malkin, Chris Thorburn.
Like, the options alone there, because you're either like, oh, you know what? Our top line has one of the greatest players in the world. Yeah, okay, you're going to put your best line up against that. Oh, our second line has one of the best players in the world, too. Good luck, guys.
Yep, have fun with that.
Or, maybe they're struggling a little bit. Our top line is just going to have two of the best players in the world right now. Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Like, how is that fair?
It's
not.
not.
That is insanity. And then there's the Edmonton Oilers who are just like, we had first-round picks.
Yeah.
We still suck.
Remember? Never mind. I'm not even going to bring it up. We'll
I know exactly what you're going to say, Joe.
We'll wait till later.
Suck it.
We'll wait till later.
I hate you. God damn, Edmonton. 9-game losing streak. 9 in a row. Oh, is it 10 now? It's 10 or 9.
I don't know.
I know it was
it's
at
8.
9.
I've
definitely hit 9.
Hold on. I'm on the NHL website right now. I can find it. Dude, keep talking. I'll find it.
Okay. But it's so frustrating. Because when you think about the Pittsburgh Penguins, it's just like, why aren't you not winning a million Stanley Cups? And you remember Marc-Andre Fleury. And
he's got a big contract extension.
Yeah, he shouldn't have. He's he's the Achilles heel, which is hilarious because he's probably better than Patrick. But nonetheless, it's just it's a very confusing thing. Pittsburgh Penguins have got us. They
need to win.
I just want I just want them to win Stanley Cups so it can be over with and people can stop doubting Sidney Crosby is the best player in the world. It's just
there is no doubt as far as I'm concerned. But
there shouldn't be, but there is because people are stupid.
Let's see here. Edmonton has lost. Oh, they only lost 1, 2. That's stupid.
Well, they lost one in overtime.
Yeah, overtime.
So then the stupid NHL website resets it.
Yeah, it says OT2. That's it.
Okay, so yeah, they've lost 10 straight then, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's everything else is like a 1-2, lost 3, 1-2, lost 3, and then Edmonton is OT2.
Yeah, that means they've lost 2. Do you never look at the NHL site, Joe?
Yeah, I do actually all the time, but I don't look at people's streaks.
Yeah, that means that they've lost 2 of their last 2 games. They've lost in overtime.
So and then before that, there was 8 that they lost. So they've lost 10 in a row. So that's brutal. Has there been a jersey thrown on the ice yet? What was our bet? We had a bet going on that, did we not?
Have there been? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Our bet was either Edmonton or Winnipeg, and it doesn't look like it's going to be Winnipeg.
It's not going to be Winnipeg. So
I'm not sure if there's been one thrown in.
Ooh, I'm going to have to do some recon on this because I could be winning something that we never really... Oh, we did figure out what the bet was.
Yeah, you get to pick who.
Yeah, ooh. When are we playing next?
I don't know. I know we play each other one more time, so we play each other a lot. Yeah, Edmonton Oilers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whoa, what the hell's going on? Oh, there's a win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 games lost in a row.
If it wasn't for that one in between, it was going to get up to like 15.
They haven't won a home game all November.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a jersey thrown on the ice, to be honest with you.
They haven't won at home, or they haven't won a game since November 9th.
Good times.
Their home losses, there must have been one after Chicago. I forgot about that. That's 7-1.
They got booed off the ice.
And then booed through their little walk.
Have
you watched that video yet?
Yeah, I saw it.
That is brutal.
I'm gonna do some research later and see if I can find anything if a jersey has been thrown yet.
I'm sure there's got to be. I know a hoodie was thrown, but that doesn't count.
Not quite.
It's got to be.
It doesn't have the same monetary value.
Yeah, you can find a hoodie at Giant Tiger for like $5.
It's like a $200 investment right there for a jersey. Holy!
Unless you go to that store I went to. I went and bought hockey cards this week. First of all, I'm now like fully indulged into this. It's pretty cool. I mean, I knew I was going to be into it, but like when I actually start looking at it and seeing the different types of cards and stuff there are, like, it's pretty sweet. I like
you sound insane.
I do not sound insane. Anyways, I went to I think it's Superstar Sports Collectibles or something like that. It was on Black Friday that I went. I wasn't expecting to. I just wanted to get hockey cards and I was going to leave. But I was walking through the store because I'm like, oh, there's some cool stuff here. I might as well look around and see some things. I saw some other hockey apparel. If it wouldn't have been just before Christmas, I probably would have spent like $400 on jerseys there.
Yeah.
Because they had like, I've been wanting to get a Hartford Whalers jersey for a long time, a Quebec Nordiques jersey for a long time. They had old school like Anaheim Ducks first coming back.
Yes,
Anaheim Ducks jerseys
that's
there.
sweet. I would get one of those.
And since it was Black Friday, all these jerseys were ridiculously cheap. They had like ones with like Pro Design name bar and everything jerseys, like not the authentics are like $300, but like the $250 jerseys for $100.
That's so cheap.
And I was like,
Yeah.
why? I want to buy you all.
Yeah. I'll take one of everything.
Because they had like a Jonathan Tavares jersey and shit like that, and I'm like, it's such a sweet jersey.
Yeah, that's sick.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm fully into the hockey card thing now, so it's pretty sweet.
It's official?
It's official.
Yeah.
I'm into it. It's pretty cool. I don't know, it's just something neat to do.
Did you add to your interests on Facebook? Collecting hockey cards?
Cool story, bro.
Thank you, Neil. I had nothing to say to that. Anyways, Michael Hutchinson. I don't know how we got there.
Yeah, that was...
Well, we went from Brodeur to Hutch.
To something.
You're right. I don't know how.
I don't know how we got there.
Yeah, whatever. It's the magic
Sidney
of,
Crosby, maybe?
It's the magic of podcasting.
Yeah, it's
That's so true.
stuff
Let's
happens.
not try and go back now. Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, keep
momentum.
going. Michael Hutchinson played great against the Bruins. Somehow we got to things. Is there a goalie controversy here now?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
You still think it's
I
straight
still
up
think it's
Pavlik? Even though Hutch got the start against the Bruins?
Yep.
I think you're wrong.
I think we're going to have to wait and see over the next couple of games, but I think that's not going to be an issue.
See, I know we've gone through this before. How the backup outperforms Pavlik and blah, blah, blah. Stuff happens. I'm just going to run through their stat lines right now. Andre Pavlik, 19 starts, 516 shots against, 42 goals against, 919 save percentage. So he's still doing well.
Yep.
Better than we expected. Michael Hutchinson, 6 starts. He's played in 8 or 10 games, something like that total. 188 shots against, 10 goals against, 947 save percentage. He's the league leader right now in save percentage and goals against average.
Nice. Yeah, his goals against average is super low. Did you say it?
No, because I don't give a crap
point-
about it, but it's super low.
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
1.5
Yeah.
something. It's super, super low. Again, not as many games played,
Yeah.
sample size, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. We've seen this happen in the past where goalies come in. Bob Montoya last year played better than Pavlik. No change. The reason I have a feeling it might be a little different this time is because it's a Jets prospect. It's not somebody they've signed. It's not somebody that they know is going to be their backup. Like I picture Budai would have been if that whole thing would have happened. Could you imagine if that would have happened now? Like, God. Speaking of which, Hellebuyck he's completely stolen that AHL starting job. He's played amazing in the last 2 weeks, and the Ice Caps have been winning because of it. He's been unreal.
Yeah, he's been standing on his head. Yeah.
Looking good. Matt and Eric Harmony is probably going to be one of the starters. Hopefully a starter for the World Juniors.
I thought that he was going to be last World Juniors.
Yeah,
his numbers were unbelievably above the other guys who got the...
We've talked about the World Juniors before, right? Like
I think so.
Stuff, they make weird decisions.
Yeah. It's very political too, I think.
Exactly,
so.
and age plays way too much of a role. Anyways, but I feel like when it's your own guy, there's a bit more of incentive to want to have him play.
Hey, look how smart we are. This is a guy
exactly.
exactly.
Chevy actually traded for this guy,
Yeah.
so holy crap, a trade might actually work out. It's just obviously there's that hesitance because Pavlik keeps getting the starts. Mm-hmm. But at some point, and I know it's weird saying this because he's above league average right now when he's in there, I think there's more of a feeling and there's a lot more pressure from external sources saying, like, you have to take this kid seriously. Like, it's the exact same kind of mantra we saw when Pavlik got his run through the system where he did great in the AHL playoffs, came up, there you go. Hutch actually did good all season. It's the same thing. He started off as a back in the AHL, took the starting role, ran that team all the way through the playoffs. Look where it got them. A team that probably shouldn't have been in the Calder Cup finals, and a lot of people aren't going to agree with that. I don't think they should have made it as far as they did. They rode Hutch immensely last year.
Absolutely.
We've just been saying for so long now, and I mentioned this to RB on Friday or whenever they play the Bruins. Every year, it's can they do it with a better goalie? They should be a playoff team. If they had the goaltending, they'd be there. We say that year in and year out. And I feel like a lot of us, myself included, have been very pessimistic to this point of the year because we keep seeing them drop off every season. But they're getting the goaltending.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, Pavlik has looked like he's starting to regress a little bit. And Hutch hasn't. And I think if that keeps going, you're going to eventually see that change. I wrote Another update for the goalies this past week. I had my Pavlik update. And I wrote in there that even if it doesn't become a full goalie controversy, you got to start seeing. It's not going to be that projection early in the year from some writers that
70 games.
Yeah, that Pavlik was going to play 70+ games. It cannot be that anymore. No. That is ridiculous. Hutch already has, 6 starts, I said, so he's already getting up there. You're at least going to see that split come a bit more even keel. If he takes job, I'm not sure. I think if it keeps going this way, it should. Just some quick numbers off of Pavlik. At the last, or 3 weeks ago when I did it, everything was evened up. Everything was pretty close. It looked a lot better. But since that time, Pavlik has regressed a little bit. The big question, how far is Pavlik going to regress? We all expected the regression. We all knew it was going to happen. It's just a matter of how far he drops off. He's not going to do the 901 again. That was a career low, brutal year. A lot of other things were probably playing into that. I don't think he's going to do that again. If he has his workload reduced, I seriously doubt he's going to drop that low. But his career numbers are not very good. So right now, at this point in the season, he's still letting 21% of goals are him being out of position. 16% of the goals, rebounds. Those are problems. He's directly at fault of goals for 7% of the time. It's only 3 goals for this part of the season, but still, it's a big number. And the highest percentage, 35.7% of goals, I haven't put on him. But we're still seeing those out of position tendencies, rebound tendencies that they're concerning issues. They're issues that haven't gone away. And in any point of his career, since they've been back, that's what he's been doing. He's been having these stints of looking great. These tendencies start to creep back into his game. He drops off the face of the earth. He had a long stretch last year. I think it was a 3-month stretch where he was at or above league average. It was after a brutal start, so his numbers didn't look so good like they do right now because this happened right at the start of the season. But he went from one of the best stints in his career to his worst career save percentage last season. He falls off hard when he does. Only so much of it can be put on the defense because they've played pretty well in the past few games.
And it seems like everybody is recognizing that too. Like that's one of the main narratives coming out of the Jets right now is the defense playing well. Yeah.
And I'm not going to say Hutchinson's a perfect goaltender, but with my last Hutch update, 0 goals out of position. There were a decent percent. I mean, 2 of the, I have 3 goals on him at the point of this last thing, so it wasn't a huge sample size to go off of. A couple of them were because of rebounds. 2 of them were because of rebounds. So I do have concerns in some of Hutch's plays. Rebounds are an issue, but the difference between the two is he doesn't scramble to recover. He stays positionally sound, moves himself calmly, and gets in the way of pucks. And that's a goalie's job. Get in the way of pucks. I can excuse rebound issues if you're in the way of the net. I can deal with that. So, I don't know. I feel like because of these external sources, there will be a bit more of a goalie controversy. And I think at one point, the guys have always been behind Pavlik in that locker room. But if they keep seeing Hutch doing what he's doing, how do you not think to yourself, well, maybe.
Yeah, and I agree that it does make a difference that, now it's a young guy different than, the Montoya situation or whoever else being better because, he's, career backup, whatever. It does make a difference that this is a young guy who just came up. And, I mean, that's how goalies get their jobs, right?
Around the league. That's how it is.
That's how it works.
Back up, start.
Yeah, exactly. But, I don't know. I just see True North too into keeping Pavlik as their number 1 guy.
Do you see True North or is it Chevy?
Both. That's how it's come across to me for so long.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to change their minds on it like that.
See, I don't know how involved... Again, I think True North is more involved in the mantra of the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the... You don't talk about stuff. We stay within ourselves. We're a family organization. That kind of stuff. I don't see them as intertwined in the decision-making.
Yeah, but I think that attitude goes directly towards decision making, so you can put that on.
Yeah, it does. But I get the perception though that the reason Pavlik has been starting all this time is because of Chevy.
Definitely.
And I get how that can be a trickle down from True North, but I feel like at the same time they're still getting great value with Hutch. Neil, could you go on CapGeek and see what Hutchinson's contract is? Can't remember how long it's for.
Sure.
But I think it's a lot easier for them to swallow Pavlik, which again, you wouldn't have to if you would have thought about buying him out.
Yeah.
Again, I could see some reasons why you didn't, but still, you should have. it's a lot easier to swallow him on the bench when you're paying your backup goalie. It's less than $1 million. I'm certain of that.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty
sure.
So
it's a lot easier to swallow that contract when you're not paying your current starter like anything, and you aren't going to for however many years. Once Neil gets that up,
it's 2 years.
2 years for how much?
2016. Value is $1.1 million.
Okay, so he is a bit over $1 million. Is that? Go to cap hit dollars.
Cap hit's $575 both years.
Yeah, there you go. So he's getting paid like next to nothing.
Yeah.
To play. I feel like that just makes it a lot easier to swallow.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if your backup's not making 1.3 or something per year, then it is easier.
And if you want to keep talking this draft and develop thing like that, again, you didn't draft him, but you developed him, and you traded for him. You got him from a good system. Guy who learned behind Tuukka Rask, who, in my opinion, is a pretty good goaltender.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So I don't know. I feel like it's a little different this time, but we all get sucked into that.
Oh, yeah.
You make these assumptions at how many times they've let us down before. So,
and then at the end of the season, after Hutch lights it up and has the best numbers of the NHL at the end of the season, they're going to say before training camp even starts that Pavlik's their number one going to next year. So we'll see how it goes.
One thing that I'm actually really interested in seeing what happens moving forward is that talk of, the team plays better in front of them. Because on Friday, there were definite stints where the team was not playing any different. Like, they got hemmed in. Again, it's the Boston Bruins. I thought the Jets played a decent game. I tweeted out during the game, if you want to beat the Bruins, a run and gun is how you beat the Bruins. That's how Montreal beats them. That's how the Leafs got them to Game 7. That's how you beat the Boston Bruins. You get them out of their style. And yeah, I know Chara's not there. Yeah, I know a lot of their big names aren't there. But the Boston Bruins are beat you up, hem you in your zone, physically assert dominance, and make you wither into nothingness team. That's how they win games. Yeah, it's a lot easier when Zdeno Chara's on the ice, but still, it's how they do it. They're not going to change that because one guy's hurt.
Yeah.
You beat them by making them move and get them. You want to trade chances with the Boston Bruins. There's a reason Patrice Bergeron is one of the best possession players, is because they need to keep you hemmed in your zone. If you're able to fly back at them, they're a little bit more hesitant to do that. That's how teams beat them. Other side of that is you need to have a goalie to keep up with that. Yeah, you're facing Tuukka Rask, and that gives the Bruins a bit more support in that run and gun. But when Michael Hutchinson's playing how Michael Hutchinson did, you see that advantage, and you're able to go back and forth and trade chances. And the Jets gave up a lot of opportunities in that game, and Hutch stood his ground.
Yeah, you need to be willing to give up some of those chances.
He traded shot to shot with Tuukka Rask. Mm-hmm. That's pretty impressive in my opinion.
Yep.
As a whole, despite the loss to the Bruins, the Jets just finished a 3-game road trip. They took 5 of potential 6 points out of that road trip. Yes, you played the Buffalo Sabres. Yes, you played the Columbus Blue Jackets. Yes, you lost to the Boston Bruins, who are injured. It's still a decent road trip. Anytime you can go on the road and take 5-6 points is something I think is worth noting.
Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to beat the Bruins, and you're not. You're supposed to beat the Blue Jackets, and you're supposed to beat the Sabres, and they did.
How many times in the past have we seen them screw up those situations?
Those games where they should win, yes.
You go into situations, you should win the game, and they blow it.
They won the 2 games that they definitely should have won. So
and they took a point off a perennial top player team in the league.
The problem? There's no issues.
Exactly.
I'm pretty happy with that.
This week, they're back at home. They play Edmonton Oilers on Wednesday, so they finally get a bit of a break, which apparently they desperately need because fatigue. And then they play the Colorado Avalanche, and they play the Anaheim Ducks. So they got another 2 winnable games, one against a division opponent, one against a team that, as Joe mentioned, has been struggling immensely.
Yep.
I think, are the Jets going to be the team? I don't know when they were. Wonder if the Oilers play tomorrow. Because that could be the game to put them at 10 straight losses.
Oh, baby. Bring it to double digits.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so they have a couple games coming up this week. My question to you, and it was an issue that kind of started to finally rear its head this week, injuries. Brian Little, day-to-day with the knee injury. Toby Enstrom, day-to-day with lower body injury. Perot's looking a little banged up. Again, there's a good chance these guys are all fine by Wednesday. It doesn't seem like there's anything major. I don't think there's been any IR placements or anything like that. My question then to you, Joe, is let's say one of those guys go down. Are the Jets a good enough team at this point in time to be able to survive long-term injuries to a guy like Brian Little or Toby Enstrom?
Long-term, I think it would bite them in the butt for sure. But I think that they've gotten to the point where they can make up for missing a couple guys here and there for, maybe a week at a time or a day-to-day kind of thing. Look how they did without Toby Enstrom, right? They go on this road trip, and they weren't playing amazing teams, but they still survived. Performed well. And, Toby Enstrom is one of the best players on the team, the most consistent player on the team. Mm-hmm. And I was amazed at how little they seemed to miss him. So I think short term they can do okay, but a long term one is a bigger question mark. And luckily we haven't seen anything like that so far this year. Long term, the longest one was Kane. But I think if we're talking long term, like months or like 2 months, 3 months, that kind of thing, to a guy like Little or Enstrom, I think is when you start to get problems because the lineup is going to have to be dramatically changed. And I think it doesn't work well because the depth's just not quite there.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. But again, when you bring up the surviving injury, like the Kane injury, that was right when the Jets started to struggle. Mm-hmm. I think, again, goaltending plays a big role into this, right?
Yeah.
If your goalie, like Hutch did, two of those, Hutch played 2 of the games this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If Hutch can keep doing what he's doing, if Pavlik can keep playing well, I think it helps recover an injury to a guy like Enstrom. Because defense, they're not going to be able to keep up that kind of level of play. We've talked about it a million. Like when your pairings are, Klitzum and Bogosian, Stewart and Trouba, and then Party and Postma, you have a pretty glaring issue on each one of those pairings. Mm-hmm. The defense we've talked about a million times. It's the Achilles heel of this team. And I think losing Enstrom, don't get mad at me for saying this, I think losing Enstrom is the bigger issue of the two. Because I feel like despite the fact when you lose one of those top 9 forwards, Thorburn or whoever seems to be the guy pushed up, again, Gagliardi being out of the lineup and put on waivers is, again, the stupid move.
Yeah.
I talked last week about how dumb I thought it was being benched. Putting him on waivers is even more stupid, in my opinion. He is still, I think, with the team. I think they were trying to do it in case he wanted to call somebody up. But again, I don't think he should have been the guy to go when you've got Peluso and Thorburn in your lineup. And even Halischuk I'd see go instead of Gagliardi. Regardless, I think if the Jets are smart and a guy like Little goes down, you don't give Thorburn a promotion. You don't promote Peluso. You don't move Halischuk up the lineup. That's where having guys like Odell that now have to clear waivers on a regular basis is a problem. Who's the brain fart leading goal scorer of the Ice Caps right now? But they have options with the Ice Caps. They have young kids with the Ice Caps that they can call up and fill those roles. The issue with that now is you got to send him through waivers to send him back down. So if Odell comes up, he plays great. You're going to send him back down again and lose him?
You've got to keep him then. And there's no room for it.
So I think they have options. They have capability. Like, I have no problem with Odell playing on the third line.
No,
I'd rather see him on the third line than anybody else in that thing because he's got a chance to succeed in that situation. Yeah. But it's just, you got to make that decision soon.
There needs to be flexibility.
Yeah, and you don't have it if you're so persistent on keeping Peluso and keeping Thorburn. Those guys are your problems right now. And again, we just talked about it. The True North mantra of being that family unit. Once you sign a guy to 3 years, you're not going to put him on waivers. It just seems to be the way this team is going to go. So, I don't know. It's just, I feel like they have the capabilities of surviving those injuries. They just seem too stubborn to almost face them. They want to stick with what they know, stick with what they got. If things change, then they change. If not, then again, you're relying hard on goaltending that you still have question marks about. As good as Hutch has been, you still have question marks there. So it's very scary, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's on a knife edge. It could blow up pretty quick if you get unlucky.
They've been surviving for now.
Yep. Still holding on to a playoff spot.
Yeah, they are. That's the thing. Like they're in there. They're ahead of the Leafs right now.
Yep.
And I don't think I'm way off base saying I think the Leafs are a better team, but the Jets are right there.
Yep.
And we saw the Leafs do it 2 years ago. If you can find a goalie and ride him, Reimer led the Leafs to the playoffs 3 years ago.
Sweet.
He was the reason they made it. If you find a goalie that can pull your team, I still think Jets top 9 is one of the best top 9. If you're in the East, that top 9 is one of the best top 9s there are in that conference. The West, a little bit iffier. But I think they have a solid top 9 right now, and that's a big driver of possession. That's a big driver of how you do. Once they start scoring, it's going to be different. It's just a matter of how much that goaltending drops off and if you can survive an injury to your defenseman, because it's going to happen. Every year, teams go through injuries to their defensemen. The Columbus Blue Jackets are the only team that's going to be hampered by injuries. So, survival is a big
Hopefully
thing
it doesn't get quite as bad as the Columbus Blue Jackets.
But no team can survive. You're seeing it with the Columbus Blue Jackets. No team can survive that many injuries.
No.
But you're going to get it.
Doesn't matter what your depth is like.
Yeah. You know what we should do?
What's that?
Neil, I think you should cue up some music.
Sure.
For Joe's Great Team of the Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe's Great Team of the Week.
So the great team of the week for this week, New York Islanders. So they won 6. I thought Travis might like that one. They won 6 of the last 7, and they actually went 11 for 3 in the month of November. So that's pretty dang good. They're 3rd in the East right now, 2nd in the Metropolitan, tied with Pittsburgh and 4 other teams in the league with 34 points. It's a logjam at the top of the league. It's 6 teams with 34 points at the top throughout the West and East. So, but they're doing pretty well. Yaroslav Halak, 3rd star of the week on the NHL website. 970 something save percentage, 974 something like that.
He had a rough start. He's turned it around.
Yeah, he has turned it around. Great team of the week goes to the New York Islanders this week.
There's a lot of. We talked about this in the start of the year about how the Islanders, they made the changes that everyone wanted to make. And Garth Snow's taking his name from one of the slums of NHL GMs to one of the top guys right now. But there's a lot of Winnipeg connections on that team, eh? Travis Hamonic, Michael Grabner played for the Moose. Yep. It's nice. And as a Leaf fan, it's nice seeing Grabowski and Kuhlman playing well.
Side note, Kyle Okposo, 2nd on the team in scoring. He's on my fantasy team. Thanks, bro.
You know what? Let's do a fantasy update if we're going to bring that up right now.
Is this fantasy music?
It is now.
All right, cool.
All right, well,
or we can do this.
Why not?
Sure, give her.
Okay, why not?
All right. Pity has been yelling at us for a fantasy update for a long, long time, and that is because for Mistrov's Nuts, Pity's fantasy team,
number one
in the league.
Is that both divisions?
That's just number one the whole league.
He's number 1 in the league.
First in his division, first in the league.
He has a lead over Joe's great team right now. Joe's great team, though, is getting their butts kicked by playing for 8th at the moment. So,
yeah.
Joe's great team in the league is not being very great.
It happens.
I shouldn't really talk much, though, because I'm getting my ass whooped by the KHL All-Stars.
Oh, yeah. 10-1?
10-1 right now.
Nice.
I think I'm probably going to fall close to, if not into last place.
How's Neil's team doing?
Have a lick my balls.
I'm like 6th.
You're
overall.
3rd in your conference,
Nice.
6th overall. Neil's doing pretty well. He is currently tied with Don't Tase Me Bro in your game plays. I don't know if either of you guys have anybody playing today. Yeah, it doesn't look like... Oh, wow, that was a cool little breakdown. That was a good pause time right there.
I've not gone this deep into this music yet.
Oh, Neil, Henrik
Uncharted
Zetterberg's
territory.
playing for you right now. If Zetterberg gets anything, you've pretty
Zetterberg's already gotten like 2 assists, I think.
Yeah, you need Zetterberg.
Fuck yeah, bud.
Oh, you're already way up in assist.
Yeah.
You need... Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to do it.
Oh!
It'll end in a tie, but that just means you're going to get a few things added on. So you might move up in the standings. But yeah, Burmistrov's Nuts winning 8-2 right now. He's probably going to extend his lead over Joe for 2nd.
Who's dead last?
Dead last is... Don't Tase Me Bro.
Don't Tase Me Bro's last.
So the standings right now in the Advanced Stats Division, Joe's great team.
Yeah.
Hashtag What Did Chevy Do Today? Morburn, KHL All-Stars, Pavel Oelik, and Don't Tase Me Bro. And in the Watch the Game division, Burmistrov's Nuts, Shife the Knife, Pavel Lick My Balls, Fuck Corsi, playing for 8th, and then Seven Stains.
Oh, Seven Stains bringing up the rear.
Oh!
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
God damn it, Joe. But that is your update of the JetStream Fantasy Hockey League.
Fuck yeah, bud.
Oh, boy.
God. Seven Stains bringing up the rear.
There we go.
This is just the kind of stuff you get
on the JetStream podcast.
JetStream
If
Fantasy
that's
Hockey
the
podcast,
episode title, are we gonna get kicked off iTunes?
We're explicit.
That's true.
Although I feel like if we get on Max Sports channels and that's the first thing they see, we might get
Are we gonna
kicked off.
You tell people about
Yeah, Max Sports channels is an online radio station almost. They're going to be playing regularly. We're going to be added. Yeah.
Online radio
station with this hand movement.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is online radio.
Yeah.
Persona. This is hand
If you wanted to talk
language
to a deaf person and tell them about online radio, this is how you do it.
Flipping around the globe kind of thing.
This is
we're going to be involved with them. We'll let you guys know more about that. I've got limited details right now, but I know we're going to be involved. So stay tuned for that. another way to find our podcast. We're on SoundCloud now, by the way. Neil got us hooked up with a SoundCloud account, so if you want to listen to us through SoundCloud, that is also a possibility. It might be a little bit easier to listen to us there than on the actual website, depending on what kind of provider. Or what
and if you have an iTunes account or not, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter if you use iTunes or if you're so anti-Apple that you just...
Some people just don't like Apple, so you know what?
Oh, I know.
That's
I work with somebody who doesn't like Apple very much. Yeah, so that's a little update there. What do you guys want to do first? Spelling bee or things we learned this week?
I think it's pretty traditional. We do spelling bee before.
No doubt.
All right.
It's the SPELLING. Gotta remember I before E, except after C. Da, 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 da. It's the spelling bee.
God, I love that.
Favorite time of the week right there.
All right, Joe.
Spelling bee for this week. The Arizona Coyotes recalled a Winnipeg native forward from the Portland Pirates this
Brendan
week.
Shinnimin.
Brendan Shinnimin.
Can I tell a quick story about Brendan
Yeah,
Shinnimin first?
do it.
Country Fest, my first year going
No.
with it. I know, like, my boy Prokes.
Oh, yeah.
They're friends. They're
Oh,
boys.
yeah.
So I actually met him at Country Fest.
Oh, cool.
And we hung out for a day when I was
Nice.
extremely hungover.
Well, he is now going to be playing for the Arizona Coyotes, and he was leading the Portland Pirates in assists up to this point. Anyways, he got recalled. So there's your spelling bee.
Called?
Yeah, he
Like
got
he's
called
a
up.
product.
Yeah, he's got a recall out for
He
him.
got recalled.
Yeah. You're going to get if you own any Brendan Shinnimans, you're going to get a letter in the mail.
Babies may eat small parts.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
All right, Shimmerman?
He is ridiculously jacked, by the way. I was quite impressed. I was like, wow, you're really short, but you are an
How tall is
athlete, sir. He's, like, shorter than you. That's for sure.
He must be an athlete. Okay. Neil, what's your guess? Brendan Shinnimin.
Brendan. All right.
Brendan Shinnimin.
Brendan Shinnamin. Is it kind of like cinnamon?
It's like cinnamon, but Shinnimin.
Brendan Shinnamin.
Except don't go by that.
Brendan.
Okay.
Too late. Shinamo.
Sorry, Shin.
MON?
Come on. So, like, actually, like cinnamon, but Shinnimin. Okay.
I was going to say Shinnimin for a second there. I was like,
Shinnimin.
whoa. Brendan Shinnimin. Brendan, Brendan.
Okay.
So, like, Brendan.
Yeah.
And Shinnimin. I've met the guy before. I actually know how to spell his name. Shinnimin.
Yeah, that's correct. Shinnimin. Shinnimin.
When he introduced himself, did he spell out his name?
Yeah, I'm like,
Well,
just because
no,
you met
but,
the
like,
guy or what?
Name
Brooks,
tag must
my
have
friend
been
told
there.
me
Yeah.
that he had played. My friend told me he might be coming, and then he mentioned afterwards that he played in the AHL, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" So I looked him up when I got home, and I was like, "Oh, sweet."
Classic.
And I was like,
Cool.
"Geez, you need to
Little
remember."
Facebook creeper.
Yep.
Well, no, I just
Google.
went on HockeyDB and figured out who he was. Do you have an interesting fact about him? Neil?
I do.
Neil, Joe.
Fun fact. He was the leading scorer in the entire CHL in the 2011-2012 season and won the Fort Broncos Memorial Trophy. We talked about how Adam Lowry won that one. And I did a little bit of research on the Fort Broncos Memorial Trophy, and I only went back about 15 years. The trophy's been around since like the 80s or 60s or 80s, a long time it's been around.
Since somewhere.
Yeah, I only dug back about 15 years, and when I say dig, I mean look at the Wikipedia page. But
Some great digging right
yeah,
there.
oh yeah, it's deep digging.
My
Yeah,
little nerdlings.
and but he was the only one to win that award in the past 15 years that didn't get drafted. He went undrafted.
Yeah, he went undrafted in the NHL.
He got picked up as a free agent.
Yeah, and he's worked his way up.
So yeah, he worked his way up. So I mean, props to him for that. But yeah, he's the only one in the past recent history of that award to ever win it and not be drafted.
Oh, you guys messed up in the NHL a little bit there.
Interesting
didn't you?
stuff.
So last thing we're gonna do before we start wrapping things up, things we learned this week.
Sure.
So, Mr. Joseph Walter Clark.
What
Now
I
I'm
learned
playing this music. Sorry.
Yeah, this is
Perfect.
yeah, what I learned this week. Alexander Ovechkin is not the only one who can do falling down behind the backhand, slide it into the net when it looks like nothing is going to happen.
That happened again.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I really want to show this to everybody. It's on the top. Is it by Tyler Ennis?
Tyler Ennis of the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh my God,
He
that
did.
goal.
He did his best Alexander Ovechkin impression Friday night, Saturday night? I don't know. It was this week sometime.
Friday night.
And man, what a goal. It was
That was
almost better than the Alexander
no, that was better than
Ovechkin. Yeah.
Ovechkin's because Ovechkin's, I'm gonna say, was quite a bit of luck.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was immense
absolutely.
skill, but a lot of luck involved. That goal,
He knew where the puck was.
oh my God.
Yeah, nuts goal.
That was probably one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it did not get nearly enough attention.
Tyler
for it.
Ennis doesn't really get enough attention. I
Oh,
think
no,
he's
not
a
at
pretty
all.
good player.
Man, that goal was unbelievable.
Yeah. So that's what I learned this week.
Yeah,
And so I guess we're
better
gonna,
have learned
yeah,
that this week.
Yeah. I think we're gonna get that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and put it on this. It's ridiculous. It's on the top page of Reddit.
Yeah,
and
I can imagine.
It's
Yeah.
just so stupid.
That's one of those videos that will go viral.
That
for sure.
better be like one of the plays of the year.
Oh.
Like that Odell Beckham Jr. catch
Yeah.
and that goal happening the same week is unbelievable. So if you're watching online, right, or if you're watching on YouTube right now, you're gonna see it. But if you're not,
There we go.
just look it up because this goal.
They're also ripping the Penguins at this point. There we go. No,
that's
just
definitely not it because it was against Montreal.
a little tap in.
I don't. Maybe I will keep looking.
Yeah,
for
keep
it.
looking.
Okay, Travis,
My
let's-
thing I learned this week actually plays off of yours, and it's that
Okay.
the Buffalo Sabres are better than the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
So, fucking rights. Ha, Habs fans,
Oh, yeah.
suck it. I don't care if they beat the Leafs by more. They beat you 2 days in a row. So be embarrassed and just
I would say losing 2 in a row
to the Buffalo Sabres is the
worse.
worst thing
That's
you could
worse.
do.
Man, Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, this is it.
I gave them Team of the Week too early in the year because they've been ripping it up lately.
They haven't ripped it up. You gave it to a good time, though. I
Did
would
it
give you that,
happen
but-
already?
Yeah, you skipped it.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was like way into the video.
Here we go. Here it is. Here it is. All right, everybody tune in.
Little dangle.
I cut in front here. Oh, I fucked it up. Oh no! I got it! And then he falls down.
How do you do that?
The angle from the other side of the ice.
Oh, yeah,
is
it's amazing.
even
Just keep
better.
playing it because they show it.
Oh, my boy Zemgus.
I have his hockey card. I got
Good.
one of the first packs I opened.
Can I-
Zemgus Girgensons.
Can I buy that from you? I want a Zemgus Girgensons hockey card.
If I get another one, or maybe
Okay.
I'll just buy one and then I'll just give you one.
Okay, cool.
Because that one's like 30 cents. 'Cause
Decent. Okay, I want it.
decent cards. So
Yeah. Maybe I'll
If I get
email it.
one,
I'll send it to him and get him to sign it for me.
yeah, it'd be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
You made a good point though. Like he's
Right here.
completely aware of where the puck is.
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah, he knows
entire
exactly what
time.
he's doing.
That's the thing is the Ovechkin one. He kind of just swings his stick around, but this one he
Like-
knows.
He's aware enough to jump over Carey Price's pad, get the puck back, look, and just fire
Yeah.
it.
That's
Just-
one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Unreal.
this is unbelievable. That like the skill in that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a cool angle from there. Watching
was pretty sick.
Watching that puck go through.
Just unreal.
This is definitely worth pausing the podcast, guys, and going to see.
Yeah, take a break from the podcast and go watch this goal so you can just enjoy it.
My
'Cause
goodness.
holy smokes!
Or watch on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
y'all shot be.
There was another goal I remember watching one time. It was one of Evgeny Malkin's goals that it wasn't as pretty as that, but it was another one of those ones where when you watched it again, slowed down, you got full appreciation for how amazing it was. I think he had like broken between two guys and was on one foot, hopped and like
Oh yeah.
instantly changed the direction of his foot, was way off balance, then went top shelf, and it was one of the most unbelievable just physical capability goals I've
Yeah.
ever seen in my life.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
And it did not get nearly enough attention. That goal better get all the attention it deserves because that is an unbelievable goal.
Yeah.
And I thank you for bringing that up.
You're
Joe Clark.
welcome.
Neil, what did you learn this week?
I learned that the Dallas Stars in arena production team is hilarious because they put on the jumbotron a list.
Oh no!
Oh,
The
they do a
top-
lot of good stuff here.
The top petroleum products in the world, and they go on listing crayons at number 1, artificial turf, antifreeze, so on, so on, so on, silly putty at 5. And they continue to go on to 233 or 39 toilet seats, 240 whatever that is.
Linoleum.
Yeah, linoleum. I think it's
can't
supposed to be
even
an
see
O.
the
It looks like a D.
And 241 on the list, the Edmonton Oilers.
Burn. Were they playing the Oilers at this time? Okay,
yes,
good.
of course they were.
Yes, fantastic.
So funny.
The 241st top petroleum product.
Yeah, they
The Edmonton Oilers.
the Dallas Stars in like the jumbotron guy. He makes a lot of good cracks. I can't remember what team it was, but they had a good one. But one of the best ones I saw was when that whole Manti Te'o thing was going around.
Yeah.
They focused on an empty seat, and they were like, "Please welcome Manti Te'o's girlfriend."
Oh,
It was
man.
hilarious.
Jeez, that's awesome.
But yeah, they're very good. That's a good one. I think that's about it for us this week. Great cups today, boys. Who do you got?
I got Calgary.
Yeah, Calgary.
Yeah.
Cornish is too good, man.
I'm a big believer in the West for the CFL. So
Oh yeah, I
gotta
think
go.
Calgary's probably going to win that game.
Unless that
feel
Hamilton,
like though
that Hamilton returner
might pull something out.
That
like
Hamilton returner
Corey
guy who
Banks.
returned 2 in one game, 2 punt returns
Yeah.
in one game. If he does that again, I guess I'll win. But
Neil, you'll like this one because you'll get to use a drop.
I'm ready. I don't know which one it's going to be.
oh god, this suspense.
I was watching TSN earlier, and
I
I
think I
usually
know.
hate the reporters,
I know!
but Gary Lawless.
Gary.
Yes!
Yes, perfect.
Gary.
Gary Lawless.
Gary.
Neil's been waiting to use that for so long.
I love that.
Gary.
Gary Lawless went on to talk about some of the underlying statistics in the CFL. Since about the midway point of the season, the Hamilton Tiger Cats have been one of the best teams statistically in the league. They've caught up in a lot of categories, and he picked Hamilton to win. I don't necessarily think that's going to be right. I hope they do personally, because my uncle's a huge Tiger Cats fan. I feel bad for him. Although he should be feeling bad for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, Aaron Rodgers just threw for a touchdown. I hope the Packers are winning.
I just got that too. Fuck the Packers, man.
Yeah, I was going to say
Go
earlier,
Pats.
you don't have nearly enough Packer shit down here, so fix that.
He's got a cheesehead
I
up
got
there.
Cheesehead right behind you.
Yeah,
That's
but I also have to look at Brian Urlacher in a Vikings helmet all the time.
I'm not saying I'm a Packers fan at all. I have water. I think
it's up there, yeah, water
from the Lambeau fucking field.
That's
so
cool.
that's good enough.
That's pretty neat.
That's another Urlacher thing right there. God, you're an Urlacher fan. Eh?
I loved Urlacher. I was a linebacker growing up, dude.
You were. I do remember that. But yeah, so I'm gonna pick Calgary, but I would like to see Hamilton probably pull that off. Anyways, so to wrap things up, Movember is today's last day. If you want to donate to my page, there'll be a link on the Arctic Ice thing. I don't know if they'll still be taking donations. I'm going to assume they'll be taking donations all the way through to whenever.
Probably.
I don't see why they would
Midnight,
stop being a charity thing because November is
I'm
over.
assuming you can still probably donate whenever you want. They
Yeah,
aren't gonna.
probably.
They aren't gonna not take your money.
I saw a commercial. I was watching a U.S. channel this weekend that they're trying to get. So it's like Black Friday, then the weekend, Cyber Monday. They were trying to get I think Thankful Tuesday or something like that going, where it was supposed to be a big donation day.
Oh, okay.
So then it's so you're supposed to be thankful last Thursday, but then you just were a selfish dick for the last 4 days, so you should probably make up for it and donate to a charity. So they're trying to make that
There's
work
a day
out.
for everything. What's this? Oh.
Oh, I really want to show you something. This is part of the Grey Cup. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Is this John Huffnagel?
No.
While you're getting that up, on the topic of the CFL, Mark Cohan is leaving as CFL commissioner. He was commissioner for the last 8 years, and it was probably one of the best commissioner reigns in any professional sport over those 8 years. No lockouts. I think they said on, again, the reporters, he is the only commissioner in that 8 years to not have a single team under his reign go bankrupt.
Wow.
So,
Good job.
in the CFL with Toronto Argonauts as well. So, he expanded the league successfully, in my opinion. He's dealt with a lot of problems, huge TV deals, new stadiums in almost every single city, if not built already, in the process of being built.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the best overall commissioners. I'm sad to see him go. I think the CFL should have done a lot more to try to keep him, because anytime you switch commissioners, you're really playing with fire. It doesn't matter how promising the next guy looks. You're always risking something when you bring in a new guy.
I think commissioners are one of those jobs where experience is everything. So it's tough to lose a guy who's been there for so long.
Well, it's like it's changing a CEO in a company, right? Like everything
You know
changes,
the ins and outs.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
The mentality changes, your goals change. CFL's got a lot of way to grow. I know a lot of people don't care about the CFL, and I understand that, but I understand people think it's the common football league, anybody can get in. I have a lot of respect for the CFL for knowing what it is and staying what it is and being what it is and being one of the most consistent leagues around for just what they bring, what they provide, what they do. There's a lot of room for growth. I like the CFL. I support the CFL. So I hope you guys watch the Grey Cup, or at least just pay some attention to it, even though the NFL has a huge game going on with the Packers, Packers are beating New England 13-0 right now. Getting rights. So if Neil can't get this up, I'm just going to keep talking to close, and maybe we'll close with this if you can get it up in the time.
It's an interview with both of the coaches from their respective teams. This is an advertisement that we are not promoting.
I don't give a shit about Harry Rosen.
Oh wait, this sound might be on. Might not.
I mean, I like cashmere sweaters as much as the next guy, but they're pretty pricey.
There's a Canadian press, they're a thing too. Please don't sue us for being associated with our podcast and us talking about inappropriate things all the time.
Here we go.
Changed your philosophy, and if you could articulate your philosophy.
Is that Bob Irving?
The recurring theme or words that have come out of my players' mouths.
Context. The reporter asked both of the coaches about, it's an age-old question, do you guys allow your players to have sex before the big game?
Okay.
Here we go.
since the start of training camp is to finish. And I would hope they would take that same directive if they happen to have whatever you're talking about.
And the Hamilton
I've
coach.
been saved 2 years in a row with great answers by the opposing coach, so I don't really have to comment. I will say, since you brought the focus to me and him, I would say that my wife was at the last Grey Cup like she is this week, and I declined to answer that because we did lose the last Grey Cup. So I got to be careful whichever way I answer that
Oh, jeez.
because she's listening.
That's excellent.
Yeah. Nice
All right.
coaches.
On that note, if you want to get a hold of us, tell us you want to hear more sex stories from Joe Clark, possibly.
What?
Tweet us at JetStream Pod, hashtag JetStream. I don't know.
That was
how I
really
got
out
to
of
that.
hand.
I had to think of something to say. I got nothing, so I
right.
apologize immediately.
That's all right.
Not as bad as let me take a selfie. So
Fair enough.
There you go.
Apparently it was a hit, though, so.
Yeah, it was a hit. If you want to get a hold of us, like I said, at JetStream Pod on Twitter, hashtag JetStream, or at the website, www.jetstreampodcast.com. Email us, jetstreampodcast@gmail.com. You can get a hold of me on Twitter at THRUBENIUK. Joe on Twitter at JW_Clark20. Neil on Twitter at Neil Noonan, NEILNOONAN. We're also on SoundCloud now. I think I brought that up earlier. So go on SoundCloud, look us up. You can follow us, like us, all that kind of stuff on there. Comment there as well. But we would really prefer if you subscribed and rated us on iTunes. We keep steadily growing, which is awesome to see.
Yep.
Check out ArcticIceHockey.com. That's where I make posts for this. That's where all my goaltending performance posts are. We have game day posts, post-game stuff, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, check out ArcticIceHockey.com. Like I said, good little home stretch for the Jets this week. You get yourself out to a game. Let us know how you enjoyed it. And yeah, go Jets, go.